Hi, I'm Philip, and in this video I will do an unboxing of the Creality Sermoon P1. I've already was fortunate enough to test the scanner at Formnext back in November in Frankfurt. And yeah, now it's here and I can finally test it, and also can finally test the infrared mode. So at Formnext it still was a prototype unit or a beta unit where the infrared mode wasn't working, but by now it should work. So without much more, let's open the package. So as you can see, it's like a high-class package. It comes in a surrounding cardboard box, which was quite mangled after customs had a look at it, because since it's an all-in-one scanner, it includes batteries. It's actually two of them, like one battery in the scanner and a spare one. So they wanted to have a closer look at the batteries, I guess, and therefore opened the package. So let's first open the cartonnage and look what's inside. So on the one side we have like the carrying case of the scanner. It's actually quite a handy unit. So let's take it out, and I will put a measuring tape next to it for size comparison. And then we have right here the charging brick, or like the adapter cable. But let's take away the box now and maybe first have a look at this package. No, it's actually not an adapter cable, it's a lanyard for the carrying case. It's I would say it's like the seatbelt in your car of the fabric, and you have metal buckets, or how is it called in English? Metal mounting points you can attach to the carrying case. Personally, I often don't use them because I have a surrounding case, or I transport the scanners in a pelly case. But it's quite a nice unit for transport, therefore. But let's take it away and open the case scanner comes in. But first, let's have a look at the size. It's roughly 30 centimeters wide and 23 centimeters tall and roughly 11 centimeters high. So it's quite a compact unit. And now just open the strip, and directly we can see in the middle we have the scanner. It already was unpacked by customs and by myself to ensure it is working. And then we have the package containing the power brick. We have here the cable, and here we have the spare battery. So let's first take out all of the contents of the case before continuing with looking at the singular items. So here we have like the default user manual or greetings card, and a nice pack of marker points. Of course, for laser mode you need marker points. The scanner can use 3mm and 6mm markers. And what's also quite nice, we have like a wrist mount. That's quite preferred when working with scanners, or especially when wielding them around in like outdoor environments or in a workshop, so you don't drop the scanner. And on the top we have the calibration board in foil, and the package itself, or the transport case, is cushioned quite well with like additional layers of foam. Also here on the bottom side we have like cushiony insert, or I would say it's like a bit of a floating insert, so there's actually quite some give around the sides, so eventual impacts may be mindered a bit. But now let's unbox the things, or let's look at the items each by one. So to start with, we have the calibration board. It's made from glass, or glass-like material. And like all other Sermoon and Raptor scanners, it comes with a QR code, because the board is bound to the scanner, or you bind it to the scanner. So it's not like the scanner only supports one board, but you have to scan the QR code if you have a new board, like after dropping one use. So the scanner knows exactly the position of these marker dots. So they are like, the board is printed, and then it is scanned in high detail at the factory. So the scanner has the reference of the position. Then we have the wrist strap, as told. Here we have a cable, because you can use the scanner in standalone mode, but you can also use it in tethered mode to PC. Actually, you can also use it tethered over Wi-Fi, so the cable isn't a must. But in like some high RF noise environment, or if you're using it in an office space with a lot of different Wi-Fi networks, it can be quite beneficial to have a cable. Looking at the length, I would say it should be roughly 2 meters long. So holding it next to myself, it will be 2 meters, I guess. And what's quite good on the scanner side, you have a locking screw, so it is secured to the scanner. So when moving around, the USB port on the scanner won't be damaged. On the other side, of course, you have also USB-C. I personally quite like using a small extension on the side of the PC when using scanner's wire. So it's like a 20 centimeter extension from USB-C female to USB-A male, and this is just like a trip protection. So if I accidentally pull on the cable, the port on my desktop won't be damaged, because with USB-C you generally have to use the high-speed ports directly on your motherboard, or if you have a notebook on the side of the notebook, and I don't want to damage them. Then here we have the power supply. And what's quite nice, this is a modular unit with different adapters for multiple countries. Actually, I don't know all the other adapters for which countries they are. I guess this is the US version, I think. Then here we have the, I don't know, version. Maybe Japan could be, I don't know. And here we have the EU plug. So this is the one I will be using here in Germany. The power plug itself is quite a compact unit. It's a gallium nitride charger, so like the ones you're also having with modern smartphones. And if you look at it, it is actually rated for 65 watts, so 20 volts at 3.25 amps. So this is quite nice. And here we have the adapter pieces. Now, one thing I'm interested in for the US people out there, if this is like one of the folding units, okay, I won't stress it, I guess it's not a folding unit, so it will be just inserted like this. And with this you can charge the scanner and the batteries, because what's quite nice, if we now have a look at the battery itself, so this also was opened by customs. They are proprietary, I must say, so not like some regular round cells. But what's quite cool, here on the side of the battery, I hope you can see it, we have a USB-C port. So you can directly charge the battery outside of the scanner when not in use, so you don't need to bring any additional charger. So that's quite nice. And looking at the paperwork, we will most likely have maybe a short introductory card and markers as set. And yeah, it's an after-sales manual if you have like any problems with it, or need a warranty, and QR codes to the different helping sites and communities. And of course, a good pack of 6mm and 3mm markers, and a small cleaning cloth for the display and the lens units. So let's put these parts to the side, and let's now look at the scanner. So this looks quite nice. And now, as you can see, we're having a nice touchscreen on front. Currently there is a protective film on it, which I will now remove and enjoy removing. On the top we have the power button and some cooling vents. And on the back side we have additional cooling vents. And here in the middle we have the different sensors. I hope you can see them. We have the two I would say standard cameras used for the laser scanning mode. We have the wide angle cameras used for wide angle infrared scanning, and here in the middle we have the different laser emitters. I hope you can see them in the light. In the center we have 4 laser emitters, so one for single line, one for the 7 parallel lines, and 2 for the 22 cross lines. And additionally to the sides we have the 2 infrared emitters used for infrared scanning. And we have the RGB camera here to the side. On this side we have the start button for scanning. It's basically the same in the scanning mode or in the scanning behavior as with the Sermoon S1. So basically short press is starting the scanning, then a double press is switching the laser line modes, and the long press is stopping or finishing the scan. Then here we have the battery compartment, and for taking out the battery, you just press together the two latches here on the side and take out the battery, and you can put in the other battery like this. All right. One thing I forgot about battery, it's sized at 3500 milliamp hours. So here on the side we have the USB-C port. This one is the locking one, where you can screw in the cable for like secure mounting while scanning. And on the bottom side we have additional cooling vents, and what's quite nice, we have a 1/4-inch camera thread. So if you want to place the scanner on a tripod, or maybe have like an extension rod, so I've seen one quite active user in the Facebook group which likes to scan big statues with his, I think it's the Otter Light scanner, and he normally uses an extension pole for scanning very tall statues. So I guess with a regular thread it's quite easier. And there is a button or like a hole. This could be for factory resetting, but I'm not completely sure. I wouldn't stick anything in there before consulting the manual or support team. And what's quite nice, you have all around the scanner different like rubber padding, so it's not like damaging anything. So here in the bottom we have these 2 feet, so it can be placed down. On the front, like the rubber lids are actually a bit raised to the display, so it can be placed on the front side without like touching display. And here in the back side we also have the rubberized grip, so I can place them on. And yeah, at this point I maybe can already show one short addition or small addition I made to the scanner. These are like some lens caps or protective rings around the lenses, just to give like these raised edges a bit more of extra protection. So I did the first thing after unpacking and testing the scanner, if it works, was just make a quick 3D scan, because I wanted some like additional protection from lenses if I just throw the scanner into my backpack. Also normally I have like a cloth bag. I normally put my headset in, or my gaming headset for the PC, and it also quite well fits scanners. So yeah, I would say we can now turn on the scanner and look at the initial setup process. So now let's boot up the scanner. In the front side you also have I would think it's a microphone grill or a speaker grill for audio output, but I'm not completely sure. You can see it's like the Creality splash screen that I'm also accompanied from from my printers. So right next to me there is a K2 Plus printing and a K1 Max. I hope they aren't too noisy, but I think I've dialed in my print profiles quite enough that they're not too loud. And so first you can see the language selection. So this is expected. I hope you're not having issues with seeing the display. So let's select English, and now I will join my network and put in the credentials without you seeing them. But to be honest, it's a private network, you won't have access to it, and actually it's more like my testing network that isn't used for anything else, and it's isolated from a regular Wi-Fi, so no harm could be done. But now I joined the network and I can go on. Yes, I will agree the privacy statement with reading all of them. And now it's like activating the scanner. So on the side it said that there's collecting like hardware information to, I guess, activate the warranty. And here you can now log into your Creality account, but I will set this up later. I won't use my account, and now I can put in my protective password. And for starting, I will just use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I actually quite like the password protection, because basically when I'm going around scanning for projects and I'm carrying the scanner with me, I often, or if like for proper projects, I have to sign NDAs for the stuff I scan. And just carrying around the scanner without any password protection, so all the data is directly accessible, isn't the best, I must say. So this sometimes gives a bit of stomach ache, and with other scanners I will then prefer to just move the data to my notebook and delete it from the scanner. And now we can start, and we see a small beginner's tutorial. But I guess this one, yeah, and we have a speaker, so the video is also with data. But let's now skip this video and directly go into scanning. Or let's first look at the UI, and I will give you a proper scanning guide in a later step. And as you can see, the first thing is now selecting the scanning mode. Or this is like a guided view. Basically, most of the settings are very similar to the Creality Scan software, so you shouldn't be too surprised. Like, use proper exposure or use automatic exposure if you need it. Then you can select the scanning distance or scanning range, and you can select what you want to see in the live preview. If you want to see directly the texture, like the color of the scan part, or you want to see only a blue part, so like only the points you've captured, or you want to see a quality indicator. Me personally, I most of the time or nearly always use the quality indicator, because this is the information that I need while scanning, because it tells me if I need to continue scanning. So I'm gonna go next, and I could directly start scanning, and I may even just take one small part I have lying around and try out the laser mode very quickly. And as you can see, it is recognizing the marker points. Currently we are in blue laser mode, point cloud scanning cross lines, so let's just try out the scanning. So there we go. And it's actually scanning at 48 FPS, 49, so nearly 50 FPS. And we already reached the desired data quality. Keep in mind, this currently isn't even calibrated, so it's like the factory calibration, and it was shipped half around the world in the last 2 days. So quite nice, but now let's finish this scan and go back to the menu. But here you can now see the different options for post-processing the scan. But for the proper post-processing guide or workflow guide, how to use scanner, I will create an additional video. I first need to become like accustomed to the scan itself, to the scanner itself, before I tell you too much about it. But you have like the normal editing options. But let's go to the home screen, and this is where I will now start giving you a short walkthrough. So we have the calibration option, which I won't be doing now. Then we can connect to the PC, as said, either over wire or wireless. So the nice thing is, with the wired, generally with connection to a PC, either over wire or Wi-Fi, you can reach up to 100 FPS in scanning. So I'm already very excited to test this out, but currently at the point I'm filming the video, the Creality Scan 4 software supposedly still needs an update to support a scanner. For the wireless connection, the scanner basically creates its own Wi-Fi hotspot, and then you join the PC with it. It's a bit like with the scan bridge, or it's basically the same as with the scan bridge. Then we have the user guide. It's like a QR code where you guide it to the Creality wiki. And we have the settings tab. So here in the settings tab, you first see the hardware. So we have 24 gigabytes of RAM and a 1/4 terabyte of storage space and a 6-inch display. Here we see our Wi-Fi's or the available Wi-Fi's. Then we have the device name for the hotspot. And what's nice, for the Wi-Fi password, we can also change it here in the scanner. So this is quite good. So I can set an easier password. You have a software update tab. I guess there won't be. Yeah, I guess the servers aren't online yet. We have the volume, language lesson, currently only English, and I guess it's Chinese or Mandarin. Display brightness, so we can either use the automatic brightness, and it gets quite bright. or we can just let it at manual mode, and we can set a screen off time, so when the scanner will turn off the screen without any interaction. I've set it to 5 minutes. Daytime, for me it's the German time zone. I guess where is it? Germany time zone. There we are. Central European time. Yeah, this looks right. What's nice on the scanner, it feels a bit like it's made for like content creation. You can actually create screen recordings directly in the scanner, so that's quite nice. So with other scanners, I have to hop around few hoops and like stream to an external device or Wi-Fi where there I can capture it. Here we can directly capture it on the scanner. We have like starting guides. We can change our password, of course, and we have a bit of additional information. And what's quite nice, quite interesting, they're like separate options to reset the camera and factory reset the whole device. And here, like on any other Android device, so basically internally the scanner of course runs on Android. We have like the quick access menu where we can turn off and on our hotspot. We have like settings. We can create a screenshot, what's quite nice, and we can here start the screen recording. So, like here on the top. And then, now if I stop it, it should be saved here in the settings, screen recordings. Yeah, that's actually quite useful for me. Or if you want to document your scan process or what you scanned. And of course you can cast to other smart devices or smart displays. So if you have like in your office space or in your workshop Google Chromecast device or Apple TV, you can just cast to it to have a bigger screen. And we have like quick access to the display brightness and volume slider. So yeah, I would say for the current time, this may be enough of a tutorial or of a unboxing and short software walkthrough. I first need to become a bit more accompanied to the scanner itself before telling you more about it. So let's calibrate the scanner, and therefore it first loads, and I will need the camera to read the QR code of the cord, and as you can see it already recognized the QR code. So now let's flip this board and start with the calibration process. It's basically quite similar to any other Creality scanner. They just move in different positions at different angles, and it guides you through the process. You have like the top-down view, you have the side view. It isn't too hard. So maybe now is one of the situations where I would even like plug in an external display, use screencasting, because when I'm angling the scanner away from myself, it gets a bit hard to guess if I'm holding it correctly, but I guess it will be better after a few calibration cycles. So now, as you can see, it's now switching through the different laser line modes, and now it is switching to the wide angle cameras used for infrared scanning. And I can just repeat the different positions with the different sides. Now let's try to nail the last position. And it's now calibrating the camera. And maybe as a first test scan, let's just take the case of the scanner itself to get a first impression of the performance in infrared mode. So the calibration completed, so now we can test out the scanner, and for this I will just scan the case the scanner came in. I'm scanning a medium-sized part in normal mode or normal object mode, and I will use geometry for tracking, and I will enable the base removal. I'll just let I still need to accept or apply the scan parameters. So now as you can see, we are switching the modes. We are in the automatic exposure mode, like this. The scan range is also, it's limited to 400 millimeters in this mode. And as you can see, it currently is deleting the base all around, or the flat bottom, so I will disable this, and now you can see it's directly working way better. And it is gathering the data quite quickly. So we lost tracking here. Let's also try to capture the top side, but I guess there are literally now no features, so tracking will be a bit hard. But it's working quite fine for the first test. So I would say I will get accustomed to the scanner a bit more, and then I can share my test results with you. And let's look at the scan. Looks quite fine for the first scan. So one small addition I just decided to record is a quick external comparison to the Einstar Rigil. So you directly see the, I would say, core fundamentals of design choices or differences of design choices with the 7S1, where you have this two-handed design approach or scanning approach. And on Rigil we have the single handle, which makes a bit more, of course, which makes it larger because you need the handle, but it gives you a bit more of agility. On the back side of the scanner, you can see the different, I would say, sensors. So the core layout is quite similar. You have two cameras used for laser scanning, and we have two cameras used for the infrared scanning for larger parts. And Rigil is quite similar. We have the two laser scanning cameras and the two bigger infrared cameras. And here we have the big texture camera, and on the 7P1 we have the texture camera here. And we of course have the laser emitters in the middle. The Rigil is missing the single line mode, which the Sermoon P1 has. And we have the infrared emitters on the P1, we have two of them, on the Rigil we have three of them. But this will be the first short comparison. In the future there will be way more, especially of course for the scanning performance, because this is the part you will be interested in the most.